So if you're like me, you probably didn't know Subnautica 2 will come out soon. See, I played the first Subnautica and I thought it was really good. And I also have faith in the second Subnautica coming out soon. And in this video, I'll explain the reasons why one should even have faith considering everything that has been going on. But to understand this, we must go back to the beginning. Subnautica came out all the way back in December of 2014, so a decade ago. That's crazy. And it didn't even happen because Unknown Worlds, the game studio that produced the game, was short on money, and Subnautica was, well, their last hope. And in desperation, they emailed many YouTubers as their last hope. And unfortunately, they actually played the game and uploaded videos about it into their channels. One of the ones that helped the most was this really small creator called Jacksepticeye. This helped the game come back and gain more players since people were interested in the entertaining gameplays made by these popular YouTubers, showing how Subnautica almost didn't even happen. For those who don't know, this game is an open world underwater exploration game where there are various creatures, vehicles, and exploration to do. But something is wrong, and everything is starting to have green dots, and it's your mission to cure this disease and escape this planet you crashed in. Unfortunately, you're the only one alive for some reason after finding out other life pods did not function properly like yours. Now that you know what Subnautica is, you might be wondering what makes it so good. Well, multiple elements from the game, the main one being how Subnautica manages to capture the fear of the player with what could be out there, and this is achieved by many things. The main one is the ambience and the atmosphere. It looks scary because it starts looking beautiful until you start going deeper, where it starts getting dark and scary as you hear the roars in the ocean, wondering what it could be. This gives that chilling vibe to the player. They also use the fear of unknown, which is something that almost every human has, and honestly, I also have the fear, and it made for a memorable experience. Looking down into the ocean and not seeing land makes the experience 10 times scarier. The final way is by leviathans. These creatures are the most dangerous creatures in the game, except for the reefback, and the most scary one being the Reaper Leviathan, since one, it's the most famous, but two, he grabs your sea moss and starts shaking it violently until you get out to eat you alive. And being in that experience is super scary to the player and makes you wonder what other monsters could be hiding in the dark. And it's another thing I love about this game. Another thing that makes the main game so good is the story. There is a main story and a secondary story, which is the Degassi storyline with Marguerite. So what is this main storyline, you might be asking? Well, the main storyline is about you, a survivor, that crash landed in the planet 4546b. And there's an ancient virus that began 10,000 years ago named Kara. The only way to cure it is with a sea emperor that produces enzyme 42, the cure. And after a while, a ship named Sunbeam tries to rescue you, but it's shot down by a quarantine enforcement platform that will shoot down any ship trying to escape. So the virus does not leave the planet. You then discover the sea emperor. If you let her eggs hatch, she'll give you the recipe for the enzyme to hatch her eggs. And when you do, the babies produce large amounts of enzyme 42, curing you and the planet. After a while, its sequel, Subnautica Below Zero, was released. It takes place on the same planet, but it's a different part, where it, well, is below zero. This sequel was not that well received since it had an excessive amount of leviathans, making the game more annoying than scary. Another thing is the story, and honestly, just garbage. Compared to the regular, it tries to be complicated for absolutely zero reason. But something good in both games is that the vehicles, I swear, the Cyclops being a mini home and the sea truck you could attach capsules, I thought was cool, but the community for some reason did not. Either way, I was scrolling on YouTube the other day and I see it, Subnautica 2 trailer, and I was like, how did I not know about this? When I saw it, it said it was 3 months ago, and since then a lot has come out. So here is why I'm hopeful of Subnautica 2's release. The new Leviathan that is being announced, like the Reaper of this game, looks really cool, and it's gonna have advanced AI where it uses echolocation and you can distract it to hide from it and it will stop chasing you. Now, I don't trust AI ever since Hello Neighbors release, but they did devlogs and it's looking pretty good. There was recently a massive leak that will come out in Subnautica 2's early access demo, and one of the things found was many content cut out in the biomes. Instead of 4 new ones, we'll only get 2 new ones. And this is good because the developers are trying to add 2 good biomes instead of 4 bad biomes. But also Leviathans, from 2 to only 1. And 20 creatures to only 12. This could be good since we don't get overwhelmed with them like in Below Zero. With vehicles, it was supposed to be 3, and now it's only 2, removing something named Trident. But we did get more base building parts from 20 to 52. And the story was supposed to have 2 chapters for 16 hours of gameplay. Now it's only 1 with 8. But it was confirmed after the early access there will be a ton of more features, so they can focus on giving the best finished experience in the game, adding back even more than what was promised for early access. Now we need to remember, this isn't early access, so we should not expect too much because it's the first prototype that we should expect from the final game that I believe will be the best in the franchise. Now we cannot be talking about Subnautica 2 without mentioning the lawsuits and controversy involving the game. If you don't know about the lawsuit, basically Crafton Inc. bought Unknown Worlds, the Subnautica devs, for $500 million US, and they promised a $250 million bonus if they finished the second game by 2025. And it was going to happen, so Crafton fired the owners of Unknown Worlds to avoid paying the bonus. So now they're being sued, and that's why people are unfaithful for the game. So why do I have faith in this game? Well, first of all, it's finished already, because by the footage we have seen, the game can be released right now. Meaning the original developers finished it before they got fired. Meaning it's the best experience ever. Secondly, it's a Subnautica game, and all of their games has been really good, so I have faith in this one. Thirdly, because in their Q&A video they said they were learning from their mistakes, so if it's true, then the game should be good and should be the best in the franchise. To sum it all up, many people think Subnautica 2 is destined to fail because of its controversy, the bad sequel of Below Zero, and are trying to boycott the game. But I think it has potential to succeed due to many things, and I think you should too. We always need to remember to separate the art from the artist. If you made it this far and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. It really helps me out. But another way you can support me is if you join the LD Airlines server and help my journey in the ROW aviation business. But anyways, see you later.